sealed, paladins got shields to wield. Every turn's a roll of fate, one more card will tempt the way. Coins are flipping, secrets said, every loss is one more bet. From bronze dreams to legend flame, we're all here for the same game. Welcome to the Hearthstone friend, where the luck and legends blend. One more turn, don't let it end, pull up a chair. Welcome to the Hearthstone friend, spells and minions clash just right. Top deck save your lethal side, win or lose we're back again, pull up a chair. Welcome to the Hearthstone friend. Warrior roars and draws a blade, druid ramps the board's a stage. Priest survives what shouldn't be, warlock laughs in life and HP. Hunter counts a final blow, shaman rolls the dice real slow. Free tells a tale well played, hides the win or fail. Ranks start shine and then they fall, tilted plays a miracle calls. Blame the RNG tonight, but Q again, we're feeling right. Welcome to the Hearthstone friend, where the luck and legends blend. One more turn, don't let it end, pull up a chair. Welcome to the Hearthstone friend, golden cards and meta trends. Souls and glory, foes to friends, every match a twist and bend, pull up a chair. Welcome to the Hearthstone friend. Innkeepers laughing, mugs collide. Testing echoes far and wide. From tavern brawls to ladder wars, we've been here nights and nights before. No mount to ride, no blade to hone, just mind games carved in stone. Skill, luck and stubborn will, one last match, yeah, always still. Welcome to the Hearthstone friend, shuffle up, let chaos end. Every card a message pen, pull up a chair. Welcome to the Hearthstone friend, from first deck build to legends end. We lose, we learn, we queue again. The fire's warm, the night won't end, pull up a chair. Welcome to the Hearthstone friend. Fire's low, but dreams still glow. Tomorrow's climb, yeah, we both know. One more game. One more game.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome back to the asylum. Welcome to the visiting ward, actually. It's not just the asylum, it's the visiting ward. And today we talk about two topics, actually. There's going to be two in this episode. First is reassurance, the second one is insecurity, and then the last part is long distance relationships. How do they work? Can they work? How does reassurance and insecurity affect these types of relationships versus being able to see the person in person versus just seeing them on cam or via phone or whatever? Welcome back. Number one, to the visiting ward. Take a breath with me before we begin. In and out. Today we're talking about reassurance and insecurity, why we crave reassurance, why it sometimes never feels like enough, and how insecurity quietly shapes our relationships, our self-talk, and our sense of worth. This episode isn't about blame. It's about understanding, and understanding the first form of healing. What is insecurity really? Insecurity isn't weakness, it's protection. At its core, insecurity is the nervous system asking, am I safe? Am I wanted? Am I enough? Many people grew up learning that love is inconsistent, conditional, and earned. When that happens, reassurance becomes oxygen. We seek it not because we're needy, but because at some point, reassurance was scarce. If you ask these questions to yourself, then just know especially for the people that I'm around. If you ever ask yourself, are you safe? The answer is yes, you're safe here. Are you wanted? Yes, you're wanted. Are you enough? Yes, you're enough. You're plenty. Insecurity shows up often as overthinking small changes in tone and behavior, fear of abandonment or replacement, comparing yourselves to others constantly, feeling calm only when someone reassures you. None of these mean something is wrong with you. They mean your system learned survival before it learned safety. I want people to know they're within my inner circle. You are not replaceable. You are not compared to anyone. Just because I make other friends doesn't mean that you're affected. Just because someone has a talk with someone else doesn't mean that you're affected. Can it affect you? Yes. Can you get the truth from the person that you about what got said? If they want to give you the truth, yes. But there are things in this world that people are insecure about. Relationships, for example. There is the person to person relationship, the one where you're right there with that person. And you can have insecurities about that. Are they staying out late because they're at work? Or are they staying out late because they're cheating on me? Long distance, you have no way of knowing what that person's actually doing. I'm not going to say, that it happens all the time, but long distance relationships, 90% of them do not work out. 90%. Let that sink in. 10% of them work. The question that you may ask yourself is, are you enough? Are you are you safe? Are you are you wanted? In a long distance relationship, you're always going to have those questions. In a long distance relationship, you're always going to overthink the small changes. You're always going to have a fear of abandonment or replacement. You're always going to be comparing yourself to others constantly. You're only going to feel calm whenever that person that you're with reassures you. You can't move past these things, but you can in reality. You just have to remember that you have other people. I'm not talking about in the relationship. I'm talking about you have other people. You have friends. Talk to your friends about that. Talk to them. Let them know how you're thinking. Let them know what's going on. So the next thing we get into is the reassurance factor of everything. Here's where things get complicated. Reassurance helps temporarily. Very true. Someone says, "You're enough. I'm not leaving. You did nothing wrong." And for a moment, the anxiety quiets. But then it comes back. Why? Because reassurance from others can't heal a belief that lives inside of you. When insecurity is deep, reassurance becomes a cycle. Anxiety rises, reassurance is salt. Relief happens, doubt returns. This doesn't mean that reassurance is bad. It means reassurance alone isn't a cure, it's a support. And when people feel ashamed of needing reassurance, the insecurity grows stronger. Guys and gals, listen. It's like I said earlier, out of 90%, out of the 100% total, 90% of all long distance relationships fail. And numbers, women lie, dogs lie, men lie, numbers don't lie, guys. So if you are in that 10% that your long distance relationship succeeds, congratulations. You deserve it. If you are in that 90% that your long distance relationship failed, you weren't the reason. You were never the reason. Remember, you are never the reason that a relationship fails. Women, you are never the reason that a relationship will fail. You are never the reason. If anyone tells you otherwise, they need to seek help. You are not the reason that relationships fail. Unless you're that cheating bitch. Then you're the reason. But you are never the reason because, I'm sorry, men can't keep it in their pants. It's the truth. Men can't keep their hands to themselves. Men are like little children. They see a piece of candy and they want it. I've learned self-control. I've learned something that most men dream of: self-control. Being able to say, no, I don't need that. I have what I want. That is something that some people need to learn how to do. So, our next topic, our next part of this: where is insecurity born? Insecurity usually comes from one or more of these places: emotional neglect, inconsistent caregiving, trauma or abandonment, being valued only for performance or behavior, past relationships that broke your trust. If love if love felt unpredictable, your nervous system learned to stay alert. So now, even healthy relationships can feel threatening. Not only because they are, but because your body remembers what your mind wants to forget. This is not a character flaw. This is conditioning. So, trauma can cause it. Abandonment, someone just up and leaving you and not speaking to you ever again. Being valued for behavior and performance can cause insecurity. Um, Past relationships, that's the biggest thing that can cause the insecurity. Emotional neglect, that can cause insecurity. Um, I know for the longest time, my past relationships affected my insecurities. I ask I ask myself constantly on a daily basis, am I good enough? Am I safe? Am I wanted? And then I found my wife. But that was neither here nor there. So, how do you help with insecurity? There's two different versions of reassurance. There's the healthy and the unhealthy. Let's draw an important line here. The healthy reassurance is you saying, I care about you. Your feelings make sense. I'm here. Unhealthy reassurance patterns look like needing constant proof to feel okay, testing people to see if they'll stay, panic when reassurance isn't immediate, feeling worthless without validation. The goal isn't to stop needing reassurance. The goal is to build internal reassurance alongside external support. So, to all the guys out here that are in long distance relationships, women, I'm not talking to you. I don't feel like I should. I care about you. Uh, if you're in a relationship where the emotion is bigger than that, maybe I love you. Telling your significant other that your feelings make sense, telling them that you're there for them. Um, the goal is to have your internal reassurance alongside your external support. We've talked about a support network. In a long distance relationship, maybe the lady needs a support network so that she can know that she's going to be okay. Men do too, but men are a lot less. How do I put this? Men will find a way to power through it, and it's sickening. Um, so, with that being said, let's learn to reassure ourselves. Yeah, something like that, Nala. But let's learn to reassure ourselves. This part takes practice. It really does. Start small. When insecurity speaks, try responding with, I am safe right now. Feelings are not facts. I don't need to solve this moment. Reassuring yourself doesn't mean that you never need others. Yeah. Uh, so, to speak on what Meredith just said, she says, gotta love the toxic male mentality that showing emotions is weakness and asking for help is weakness. Asking for help is not a weakness. Showing emotions is not weakness. Nala can verify this because I said it during the D&D session. I almost cried. I had to wipe my face to keep from crying due to Elgrim's story. And showing emotion and asking for help is not a weakness. It's asking for help means that you are seeking to get better. Showing emotions means that you are a human being. And then the would you consider testing the following? I want to leave, then do it and not be able to follow through. I've seen those happen. Yeah, but I hate to say it, Mayor. When you have to swallow your pride to ask someone for help, I know it seems disgusting, but some people just have that pride. They don't want help. Some people have the pride of I don't want help, and they don't see it as weakness. They see it as they want to stand on their own 2 feet. They want to be that strong, independent person. And you're not wrong there either, Meredith. Some people do have to hit rock bottom before asking for help, or they're willing to ask for help. So, yes, I get where you're coming from. But over time, things change. Um, Learning to reassure yourself with the sayings, I'm safe right now. Feelings are not facts. I don't need to solve this moment. Does it take time to learn to do that? It gives your nervous system a rest, is what it does. So, saying those things will help you, yes, but it's called learning to reassure yourself. It's called self reassurance, guys. And if you struggle with insecurity, hear this clearly. I want you to listen. You are not broken. You are not too much. You learn to survive. And survival skills can gently be transformed into safety. And to those of you who have learned to survive as someone who has went through insecurity before and who has struggled with reassurance, if this episode in any way has resonated with you, you're not alone and you don't have to walk this path without support. We as a community should come together. We as a community should support our brothers and sisters. That is the reason that I made the asylum. It's the reason that my theme for the asylum is we are family. Because I treat you as if you are family until you prove otherwise. Are you part of my inner circle? No. My inner circle are those that I've known the longest and those that I have learned that I can trust them no matter what. I can go to them and talk to them. That is my support network, guys. If you ever feel like you're not enough, if you ever feel like you're struggling, it's not enough that you guys struggle. I understand that some people are in long distance relationships. Long distance relationships are 90% failed. I hate it, but it's true. I've done my research. Out of 100%, 10% of those succeed. The longer the distance, the harder the relationship becomes. And not having a support network to support you while you're struggling doesn't help. Meredith, you're right. People can hide who they truly are for quite some time, but not everyone is bad. And if you happen to be in a long distance relationship, and I know a few of you are, remember that you can't control what you're not in control of. And women, if you're in a long distance relationship with a guy, remember, guys can't keep their hands to themselves. Every little piece of candy that comes along, they're going to want. And sometimes it's just best to let them go. You're right about that, Meredith, but men are 90%, men are 50 to 60% of the reason that relationships go wrong. And it's the women who can't keep their legs closed that are home wreckers. Yeah, I said it. So, yeah, exactly. And what makes it so bad, what makes it really bad, and I'm going to say it, is about 70% of all guys have no self control. even if they're with the woman of their dreams. They have no self-control. It takes a lot to build a self-control that to where you can look at another woman and go, I've got the woman I want. I want nothing to do with you. It takes a lot. I can attest to this. I used to work for a company called Sheets. It's on the East Coast. And every summer, you have these women that come in short shorts and bathing suit tops, and you you lust after them. And you can't have them because you're in a relationship. You should be better than that. Same goes for women. If you're in a relationship, remember, you're in the relationship with someone that you love. You're not in the relationship. Yeah, look with your eyes, not your hands. You can look all you want. Or, in the words of a comedian, you can run to the end of your, if you're a guy, you can run to the end of your leash and bark. That's all you can do. Run to the end of your leash and bark. If you're married and you choose to end that, you're stupid. Unless it's because of something else. A marriage should not end due to money issues. A marriage should not end because your significant other gets pregnant again. I've seen it. A marriage should not end due to an argument over something stupid. When you spend money, when you become married, money isn't just yours anymore. Money isn't just something that you are allowed to spend. It becomes our money. It's not just your money anymore. It's our money. And there is a lot of difference between yours and our. You shouldn't end a relationship because of money issues. You shouldn't end a relationship because something that you disagree with your significant other about. Long distance relationships, I applaud those who have stuck it out, and I applaud those who have actually made it to the end. I know that those are hard. I used to have one. I will do a small story time. Before I met my wife, well, after I met my wife, our relationship was long distance. And I had to remind myself that I was in a relationship because back then I didn't have any self control. Back then it was, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, you've got a piece of candy. I want it. So those days ended 2 years after me and my wife got married. What I'm trying to say is don't get in a relationship that you are constantly insecure about. If you are constantly insecure, Don't be in that relationship. It's only going to stress you out and make you wonder, why are you in that relationship? You should never wonder why you're in a relationship. You should know why you're in the relationship. And you should never have to ask yourself, you should never have to ask yourself the three questions. Am I safe? Am I enough? Am I wanted? You should never have to ask that. Those answers should be yes, yes, and yes. You should be safe. You should be wanted. You should be. If the insecurities stem from past relationships, the trauma, you need to let your significant other know. You need to talk to them. You need to explain to them why you act the way you do. You need to address it with your partner. That should be addressed with your partner. You should let them know, hey, this is why I am the way I am. But I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to change. Yep. Also with your therapist. Now, if you have insecurity that stems from trauma from past relationships, talk to your partner. Sit them down and go, hey, I need to tell you why I'm like this. And I agree with Meredith. You should also not only address it with your partner, you should also address it with your therapist. And communication is important. We've went over that in a podcast. That was a podcast topic. Guys, as much as I could sit here and talk about these topics all day, all night, into the wee hours of the morning, I need to shut this visiting ward down. I need to shut it down, lock it up. And you know what? I didn't get a chance to do this earlier, but you know what we about to do? Hey, DJ, play me out and rattle this ward for real. Guys, I'll see you next time. And until then, I've been the warden, Matt Kildorn, and I love each and every one of you. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. And DJ, rattle the ward one more time.
Where the whispers crawl, where the broken shadows stain the wall. A heavy step echoes through the deadened air. The warden walks and terror follows everywhere. Keys like iron tombstones ring, a lullaby no saint soul should sing. He knows each scream, each name, each plea, for none escape his registry. Warden of the asylum, asylum. darkness stares, cold as the thoughts no mind should bear. His coat drags like a morning shroud, a ghost made flesh, a silence loud. He turns the key and worlds collapse. Sanity breaks in his iron grasp. The lights flicker when he draws near, even the walls remember fear. Warden of the asylum, master of the locked and lost. He binds the night with fear and frost, keeper of the secrets no one dares recall. Warden of the asylum, ruler of the endless hall. Hear the scraping chains, a promise not a threat. Every sin, every pain, he collects each debt. No hope,